Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back and welcome to Michael Glassman.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be here again.
Landscape designer Michael Glassman. We are doing a series together called Solving Problems in the Landscape, but that's not what this video is. We are here at this property to record one of those videos, which you will see in a couple days. But when I walked into this property, my mouth dropped open. This place is so gorgeous, Michael.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Really so when did you guys do this?
We designed this about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and then they had to go through the approval process because they're part of an HOA. And as I told you, I love my house. You know that.
Yeah.
And very rarely do I ever go into a house and I get house envy. This is one of the houses. I walked in and it was like, oh my God, this is the most amazing.
It's so cool. We can't do an inside house tour, but we can do a garden tour.
A garden tour. And so when I met these people and I walked in and it was like my mouth dropped and I went, oh, this house is amazing.
Yeah.
And the backyard, and we have before shots,
Yeah.
had some major problems. And they said to me, we love the house. Everything about the house, but everything about the yard, we hate.
You hate it, yeah.
And it's just not usable.
Yeah.
So we redesigned it, and less than a year ago, the contractor, we picked out finishes, we picked out tile and everything, actually installed it, and then we did the planting. So it's been in 6-8 months. And the clients keep sending me pictures at night. We'll
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't want to ruin it for you guys, but later in the video, I will put pictures of it at night.
At night. And they keep saying to me, oh my God, we love it. And as a result, we're redesigning the front yard.
So that's phase 2.
That's phase 2.
Yeah.
But phase 1, the backyard, has some really wonderful elements. And again, all problem solving.
Yeah.
Problem solving.
So again, we're planning to film that video, and we will film that video,
Right.
but I asked Michael if he would just do a quick garden tour of this back garden because it's so beautiful. And I've seen this garden on pictures, and I was shocked when I came here because it's completely different on in person, and hopefully you guys will get that on camera. So I am going to grab my camera and then we will take a look around.
Sounds great.
Okay, Michael, so first of all, this is the most interesting house that I've seen, right?
Yeah.
Did your design for this garden, was it based off of the house?
It was based off the house. The whole interior, exterior. One of the things about this house that is amazing is all the glass. I mean, that you could show. I mean, this almost looks like the bow of a ship, but it's all glass. Big floor-to-ceiling glass panels so that you take in the view.
Yeah.
And doors that open up onto the backyard.
Yeah.
The problem that they had was they opened up the backyard, and because the pool was here, but it was a 1960s no-tell-motel pool with coping around it that was cracked, old tile. There was aggregate, there was regular concrete, there was a little teeny raised area here. And the thing that was interesting about this yard is it's not a humongous yard, but it's a big yard. But there was no entertainment space. Up here, you couldn't even put a table and chairs. You opened the door, you came out, and then you fell out. There was no shade in the yard. And one of the things that was really spectacular was they're surrounded, and they own them, they're surrounded by these redwood trees.
Yeah.
Well, where the original fence was, the redwoods were outside the fence. And they basically said, we want at least one of the trees to feel like it's ours.
Yeah.
So we petitioned, and they said it's okay because it's their property, and we moved the fences out. So now they picked up a lot more property to be able to use. And then the reality is there was just some broken up concrete back behind the pool, and no one would sit there because it was too hot. So designing this outdoor structure, that there's a reason to go back there.
Okay, you guys ready? Oh my goodness. Okay, so here's the redwood tree that you guys incorporated, right?
Absolutely.
And then the dining space, what do you call it? No, I know. Pergola.
Pergola.
Okay. I should know that.
It could be a gazebo, a pergola. They're interchangeable.
Oh my goodness, isn't this...
And then here's some of the things we changed. We resurfaced the pool, new tile in the pool. This is porcelain tile. We got rid of all the broken concrete.
Okay.
And did the porcelain tile.
This
here.
is beautiful.
I love it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Again, you see the channel drain that you can open
Of
up
course.
and say, yes.
It wouldn't be a design without a Michael Glassman channel drain.
And then what we wound up doing was we expanded the area behind the pool. And this is really kind of an interesting thing, and your viewers, I think, will love it. The reality, let's be honest with you, the redwood tree is spectacular. The roots are those roots go probably 20 feet all the way around.
Yeah.
So the reality is if you wanted to try to plant in the ground, nothing's going to grow.
Right.
So what we did instead was we didn't just want bare bark everywhere. We actually did these raised planters.
This is just so beautiful.
So these are raised so that we don't have to worry about trying to get plants digging amongst the roots of the redwood. And then these are flamethrower red buds.
Look at this tree, you guys.
Is that gorgeous? I love it.
Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. I ended up getting the Merlot red bud, and now I'm regretting not getting the flamethrower because this is such a beautiful tree. I love the flamethrower,
and then you can see the yarrow underneath it.
Yeah,
and then over there they said we want to do one small vegetable box.
Yeah.
Well, it was full sun, so we did that, and you can see their tomatoes and squashes doing great.
It's beautiful, and I have to say, I mean, we're about to film Solving Problems in the Landscape video. This is solving problems, right?
This is solving problems because you can't get, because of the root system and because the redwood's stealing all the nutrients, you wouldn't be able to plant into the ground this close. By putting a raised planter in there, all new soil and everything, and new irrigation, this is a shallow rooted plant, so are the yarrow, so that you can grow these, the vegetables are shallow rooted, without having to worry about going into the native soil and competing with the redwood.
And so they just don't have to worry about it, and they can have these beautiful things. And I have to say, I think the raised beds give it some interest.
Oh, I do too. I mean, if it was all flat, it would be really dull. And then again, the fence, yes, we could have done a solid fence, but we left the spaces so you don't feel like you're in a prison.
You guys, this fence is what I want in my property. This fence right here. Look at how beautiful it is. Now, Michael, you designed this fence?
I designed this fence and then we stained it, of course.
Oh my gosh, it's such a cool fence. This is the fence that I want.
And it's very simple. It's pressure treated wood, so it doesn't rot out. So these are just 1x6 boards with a 1/2 inch spacing. The whole thing is stained, so it all blends together.
And then you topped it with
a 2x6.
2x6. Oh my gosh.
Cool?
I just love it.
It's elegant. It's one of the least expensive fences you can do, but it just looks so good.
It looks so fancy. And then I have to show you guys over here another Michael Glassman specialty.
Podocarpus gracilior for privacy.
Look at how good this looks. Look at how beautiful these are. And I just want to point out how closely these Podocarpus are planted, because I've talked to a couple people and they've asked me, how close should I plant my Podocarpus if I want a hedge? And it's like 3 feet, 4 feet, right? Very close.
They will get big. It depends on how you prune them. These can also be espaliate and grown flat. So the thing I love about them is, sure, if you let them go, they can get 35 feet tall and probably 20 feet spread. But at a certain point, what you're going to do is let them grow together, top them, and then keep them controlled.
I love it. I just think it's going to be so pretty. And this is a 6 month?
6 months to, about 6-8 months.
Yeah, so these guys have plenty of time to grow.
Exactly. And then there's some really cool things to look at. Again, we expanded the porcelain tile. I love this stuff.
This is so beautiful. And is it pretty rugged?
Oh, it's extremely, you can feel it's kind of rough, so it's not, even when it gets wet, it's not shiny and everything.
You're not going to slip getting out of the pool.
You never seal it.
Oh.
It's porcelain. It's exterior porcelain made to take outdoors. It can be in the snow. The other thing that's really neat about it, you spill red wine on it.
Yeah.
It's not porous. It's a porcelain tile, so you just wipe it up.
That's just
and
crazy.
It's made, the company that makes these is making it for exterior use. That's why it's a rougher texture.
It's so pretty.
I love it.
It's so pretty. I love how you added the umbrellas here.
It's a really nice touch. Yeah.
Gives it a pop of color, right? Yeah. Makes it really interesting. And then tell me about the pergola. Tell me about...
We wanted, it's hot. You and I have talked about it. To be able to sit outside and be able to entertain, another space for entertaining, we designed the pergola, again, a little bit rustic to go with the style of the house. Yeah. The tongue and groove on the inside, staining it the same color. But it's now this covered area with the outdoor fans. You can sit out here. You can have a party out here. In fact, they're getting ready. They're having a big fundraiser for breast cancer.
Oh, great.
It's going to be on Saturday, and they've got the caterers coming to set it up.
Oh, that is going to be perfect. What a nice, pleasant area to spend.
There's some really cool things I want to share with you. Number one is one existing tree that was here, but you never really paid attention, was this maten tree.
Okay, say that. M-A-Y.
M-A-Y-T-E-N. It's a maten tree, Maytennis forea. It looks like a weeping willow, but it's an evergreen. It doesn't lose its leaves. I love it. It's so dramatic.
So dramatic and beautiful. And I have noticed these trees around town, and I didn't know what they were. And now that I see it, it's so beautiful because it has that weeping look.
Weeping.
And that was here.
That was here. That was the only thing that was here.
Lucky.
And then on the before picture you saw, there was just bare fence, one maten, and nothing.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make this wonderful, colorful butterfly bush Miss Molly.
Yes, my favorite.
Gara. I mean, the amount of butterflies and hummingbirds that they get here, as well as dragonflies. And then for ground cover, we did a shore juniper, a silver gray.
Oh, that's going to be pretty. So again, this is only 6 months old, and look at how full it is already. It's so beautiful. I just have to stop. I know everybody's like, what is this? Tell me about this. Like, what? They're so cool. What is it?
They're light towers. We wanted, it's a sculpture. We designed these. The client had showed me a picture, and I said, I love them. So we did a design for them. We built them. There's a light at the top. At night, they glow. The slats, we left them natural. They're sealed so that the light comes through, and they're just like a living piece of, they're a piece of art. They're light towers.
They're the coolest things ever. And like I said, I've seen pictures of this yard, and I didn't really get the impact of these two sculptures in this garden. It just makes such a huge difference. Do you know what I mean?
What I tell people a lot of times is, we talk about it, art and whimsy. Why not do something a little different? They wanted the light, and the light towers were like something perfect, something so different that you don't see in every yard.
So I said this to Michael before I pressed record, but I'm going to say it again on camera. I think when Michael gets the opportunity to do something super interesting and super unique, that's where you shine.
Thank you.
Because you do a beautiful job on like the classic landscape, but when you get to do something like, I don't want to say weird. Weird's not the right. Something interesting and different. Your designs are, I love them.
So the interesting thing is, again, you have to understand, for someone like me, which is so exciting, when someone presents me with an architectural house like this that is so unique.
Look at the roof.
So unique.
God.
It's like the landscape has to match it. It can't just be,
It's
got to be, the landscape's got to be a wow. The house is a wow, so the landscape's got to follow through and be a wow.
Yeah.
So here's some fun things that I love. You'll notice, again, we've
Specialty.
got planting here to soften out the house.
Michael Glassman's specialty.
Yes,
of course. Can you tell me about these grasses?
Oh yeah, I love these. These are a chorus. They take more shade. They're an evergreen.
They're beautiful.
I also love, again, another Miss Molly.
Gorgeous.
And then this is kind of neat for a backdrop. These are Gulfstream Nandina.
Oh.
And they're just, I wanted something that's evergreen, that's kind of interesting, low maintenance, that will grow up about 3 or 4 feet.
Yeah.
That will just add some drama. And then you'll notice for ground cover here, we did the Mexican black pebble.
It's beautiful. And I just want to point out the little pathway that you guys did with these stepping stones. It's just beautiful. That's the porcelain tile?
That's a porcelain tile.
Oh, it just is so cool.
And then again, these trees, these are Glacier Bay or Podocarpus Icy Blue or Glacier Bay. And I love these. They're because it's silver gray. They're
so pretty. And it's such a specimen tree right there. Is that one? Oh yeah, right here.
One right there.
There's one right there. So these guys are the specimens.
I put them against the dark fence because they'll pop.
Yeah.
And then this is one of my pride and joys. So again, we talked about when the before was they opened the door and they had this little teeny deck, and then you fell out, and there was no shade. So one of the things that we did was we made this whole big, large deck. This is a synthetic material. It's TimberTech.
TimberTech, okay.
And the thing that I love about it is now look at the usability factor.
Yep.
You can dine out here. You can sit out here. We did something that's kind of unique. We actually cantilevered part of the deck over the pool.
Isn't
you have to see this. This is really
amazing. What was it like? How did you come up with this idea?
I just thought it would be. I wanted the deck to be big enough. I thought it would be neat so that when you stand here, you almost feel like you're on a little lake.
Yes.
It's just kind of a neat thing. And of course, we had to have a railing.
Yes.
We didn't want a solid railing, and we didn't want someone falling in.
Yes.
But the idea is to stand here and you have this expanse of water, which is like, oh my God, the house is on a little pond.
Yes. And I just have to say that the cantilever deck over the pool, it really matches the lines of the house.
Yes, it does.
Because I don't want to show the inside of the house, but the inside of the house, there's a lot of like layering of wood and different lines and everything like that. So it just, good job.
We all take the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
And the easiest way to get to something. Well, a lot of people would say, why didn't you put the spa back in the overhead?
Oh,
way
yeah.
back there where the redwood tree is.
Yeah.
But here's the reality, and that would have been beautiful.
Yes.
But the reality is when people, and my clients said, we love to use the spa and we want to close in. And the reason is, you get out of the spa, this is always warm, you can adjust it, you open the top, you get in the spa and everything, and you want to get out, you open the door here and go right in the house.
This is the master
bedroom.
right
This
there.
master bedroom. So I ask a lot of my clients, those that have put their spa way away, I said, I love the feeling, I love the romance, I love the dreaminess of it. Do you use it a lot? And they go, no. They go, it's too cold, it's too far away. We thought we would use it all the time, but we don't.
Yeah.
And so what I find is, again, the path of least resistance. There's their bedroom, they open the door, they come right in here, they use the spa and go back in. So it's the kind of thing that when you're designing, there's the dream landscape, the one that we think we want, and that's great, and I'm not against that. But then there's the reality of, will you use it? Is this going to be the ultimate solution to how you're going to use your yard? And if after a while you realize, no, I made a mistake, then you realize, no, the function didn't work.
Yeah.
In this case, they use it all the time. They love it. And they comment to me all the time. We're out here all the time. We sit there. We turn on the light towers. There's a little fountain that we nestled over there.
Oh,
the little
gosh.
monoliths with the burbling water. And they said, we love it here. We are out here almost every single day using this. When we bought the house, we were never in the backyard.
Yeah. And so just by making that little decision to put it here instead of all the way out there, it made all the difference in the world for their lives.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And they get to really use it. And I'm going to put up again the pictures of it at night.
Yep.
Everything's lit up.
Everything's lit up.
Which is absolutely incredible. And luckily, they have a neighbor that has pretty plants, too.
Exactly. They have the butterfly bushes.
Yeah, look at how pretty that is.
And again, and we'll talk about it in our solving problems. If a person's in a wheelchair, a walker, and you open the door, you don't have to maneuver steps. Steps are not our best friends.
Yeah.
You walk straight out here. If you want to use the spa, all you do is, it's 18 inches above the deck. You open it, you sit on it, and swing your feet. There's no...
Yes. Oh my gosh, what a good point.
So it's thinking through those things that are so important when you're designing a space. And as I said, I love it.
I love it, Michael. I think that this is such a stunning landscape. I told him, I said, you need to submit this to some type of competition or something like this, because this is a good one. This is really exciting. I know, I'm just like, oh, Michael, you're the best. But this is a really, really well-designed yard, and it's so fun to see. And when I walked in here, I was like, oh, can we do a garden tour, please?
And it's funny because I talked to her. I thought when she comes in here, she's going to say, yes, good place. We can film some of the solving problems.
Yeah.
But can we start with a garden tour?
Yeah.
Because I think people will enjoy it. There's so many elements that you can pull from this and ideas that I think solve problems and people would enjoy.
Oh, it's so gorgeous. I want to thank the homeowners for letting us come. I really, really appreciate you guys letting some random girl come in and film. But a huge thank you, and a thank you to Michael for taking us around.
My pleasure.
Stay tuned because our Solving Problems in the Landscape video will be out in a couple days. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.